Hoje eu, quem diria que seria o fim de você e eu. Mas quando eu olho nos olhos, é tudo bem diferente.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, how are you doing on this fantastic Monday? Yes, today's Monday, July the 18th of 2022, day 199 of the year, and only 166 days left to go. Well, anyways, I hope everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods because it's been a hot minute since we last hung out. So hopefully everything is good and grand as you are hanging and banging, moving and grooving, and all of that kind of fun stuff. Anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that place that we do stuff at.
Radio.
Oh, yes, we are hanging out at Radio Big.FM because, that's where we do our stuff on TuneIn. Yeah, so that's where it is. That's what we have going on. So let's start talking right away. A lot of stuff going on over the weekend. So let's start talking about what was trending then, now, and forever, it seems like. So let's talk about that right now. Saturday was World Snake Day. Bobby East was trending on Saturday after news of his death broke. Sunday was National Tattoo Day. Hashtag fake baseball facts was trending on Sunday as tweets included umps admit that they were wrong. The bad boy's name is always Robin. Yogi Berra was born in Yellowstone National Park. Home plates can be purchased at Home Goods. Also going on over the weekend was, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez landed on Twitter's top 10 trends on Sunday after news broke that the two had tied the knot. What knot? And then hashtag open, the open was trending on Sunday along as Cameron Smith, who was named the winner of the 150th Open Championship. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there. So a lot of stuff. So I hope everything is going good. I will tell you some news broke over the weekend that got released on a podcast, but I am not sure yet if, even though the news broke, if I'm supposed to be talking about it, because the fun part about this whole thing is that it's not all it's not all done. So if you kind of already know what I'm talking about news that broke on a podcast over the weekend, but I can't give you any information yet about it because it's not all concrete where everything is set to go. So I don't even know why it's being brought up. So if you heard some news about some things that might be going on, which I told you would be happening a couple of weeks ago, but now somebody else has confirmed information that's not 100% done. So once that's done, I guess I will sit here and we can talk a little bit more about it, about a potential event. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, and I'll give you the news in the inside Iggy for us to have the breakdown of what exactly is going on. But man, was I surprised when I was taking a listen on Saturday at high noon about some information that was being released. But we can talk about all that stuff at some point. Anyways, with that being said, if you're new to the show, kind of an easy process here. If you want to get involved with what's going on, all you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. I will tell you, you have better opportunities with the interaction with its messaging opposed to video calling, just kind of the way that it goes. Because if I'm in the middle of something else, I will normally not stop to be able to answer. Sorry, just kind of the way that it happens. And then, of course, if you're new here, we will talk about safety in the news and safety, and then go from there. That's exactly how it goes. It goes from there. With that being said, anyway, so with all that information going on, it's probably that time to talk about what exactly is going on inside of the world of the news. So let's bring in some professional broadcasters for them to tell you exactly what's going on.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. A Texas House Investigative Committee is releasing a preliminary report on the deadly Uvalde mass shooting. NBC's Sam Brock.
The most comprehensive report issued to date on Uvalde's mass tragedy offers a scathing critique of all agencies linked to the response. In the report's words, egregiously poor decision-making.
The report describes a response among the nearly 400 law enforcers on the scene at Robb Elementary School. It detailed the lack of adherence to active shooter training by authorities who failed to prioritize saving the lives of innocent victims over their own safety. In all, 19 students and 2 teachers were killed by a gunman who went unconfronted by authorities for over an hour in May. Steve Bannon's contempt of Congress trial is set to start today. Here's Dina Kodiak.
Bannon is a former top Trump advisor who ignored a subpoena to testify before the January 6th House committee. Bannon's lawyers cited numerous references to their client during this week's committee hearing and warned about a very serious risk of juror prejudice going into the trial. A federal judge rejected a motion to delay the trial. I'm Dina Kodiak.
The House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol is set to hold another public hearing in prime time on Thursday. Mark Mayfield with more.
Former President Trump will be the focus, with the Democrat-led committee examining what they're calling his 3 hours of inaction during the riot. Chairman Benny Thompson said they'll talk about what was going on at the White House and go over what Trump was doing or not doing after leaving his Stop the Steal rally earlier that day. The hearing will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm Mark Mayfield.
President Biden says he expects to see adequate supplies to meet global oil needs. His comments followed discussions he had in Saudi Arabia. The White House did not announce any major breakthroughs on oil production. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The UK's braced for 2 days of potentially record temperatures. In France, more than 16,000 people have been evacuated because of wildfires. Sri Lanka's acting president has declared a state of emergency amid ongoing unrest and an economic crisis on the island nation. And India is expected to elect its first tribal president as the country's presidential poll takes place on Monday.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
4 people are dead after 2 planes collided in midair Sunday afternoon in Nevada. Trey Thomas reports.
It happened at the North Las Vegas airport. The Federal Aviation Administration says the incident involved 2 single-engine aircraft, one of which went down in a field just east of the runway. The other ended up in a water retention pond. I'm Trey Thomas.
People experiencing a mental health crisis now have a new way to reach out for help as states started rolling out 988 as the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number over the weekend. Dwight Holden, CEO of Lines for Life, which has counselors on the hotline, says it should reduce 911 calls.
We're hopeful that gradually we'll be able to bring volume over from 911, take some of the burden off their plate.
The hotline will provide round-the-clock confidential support from mental health professionals trained to respond to such emergencies. Experts say it could potentially help over 7.5 million people in its first year. A lawsuit accuses the parent company that makes Skittles of continuing to use a chemical toxin in the popular candy. A woman in Oakland, California claimed in the lawsuit filed last Thursday that in April she opened a Skittles package that still contained titanium dioxide. Skittles maker Mars Incorporated pledged in 2016 to stop using titanium dioxide and artificial colorings in its products for the next 5 years. The chemical is found in paints, sunscreens, plastics, and cosmetics, and has long been used in candles, chewing gum, chocolates, and coffee creamers. Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill continues to benefit from being featured in the latest season of Netflix's hit series Stranger Things. The music video for the 1985 song surpassed 100 million views on YouTube over the weekend. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN. The WorkWise Summit is an interactive 2-day gathering that will bring like-hearted leaders together like never before as we discuss ways to better align HR, safety, and operations around one common goal: creating the future of work together. Day 1 will focus on self-performance with talks with leading experts on how to live and lead at our best. Day 2 will focus on organizational performance with discussions on what we can do together to break down silos and foster action. The Work Summit will take place at Coker Tire Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Thursday, September the 22nd and Friday, September the 23rd. For more information, go to worksbees.com/Y-Summits. That's WORKZBE.com Y-Summit. Have you ever wanted to start live streaming and were not sure how to do it? You can start live streaming up to 40 social media platforms all at one time for as little as nada. It's going to cost you your time. That is what it's going to cost. You can pre-record, you can live stream, you can do a multitude of things. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com ONE. Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yeah, sounds like some risky business time for sure as we are talking. Anyways, let's continue talking about a lot of things that are going on. 16 minutes past the top of the hour on this lovely Monday. Former FDA Commissioner Scott Goldberg says that the monkeypox is the cusp of becoming an epidemic virus, but officials don't want to admit it because that means they failed to contain it. On Face the Nation, he said that I think the window for getting the control of this containing it probably has closed, and if it hasn't closed, it's certainly starting to close. As reported quietly by many news outlets, monkeypox is most commonly transmitted between male sexual partners through prolonged skin-to-skin contact and respiratory droplets. So worth asking, could have this been contained if experts followed science, and that has been warned in the past. So I don't know. Some stuff to talk about for sure. Just some things to consider. Some things to move, to groove, and move along as we are talking. So what do you think about this whole monkeypox thing? Because it has been becoming more and more popular in the news. And what do you think? Has the window closed in regards of what we can do? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out as the days come closer. Farmers across Europe are taking a cue from the Dutch colleagues and are taking their heavy machinery to the city streets to protest the deliberating and what people are deeming the nonsensical green regulation that has threatened to kill the industry. In Italy, farmers clogged the streets of Milan and chanted, "We are not slaves, we are farmers." In Spain, farmers in Granada and Albacete protested in solidarity over the country's regulation that would directly affect them. But the farmers do protest increase about food and gasoline prices, which threaten their industry from a different angle. In Poland, farmers took to the streets in Warsaw to vocally oppose the rampant inflation. So I don't know. A lot of stuff. You can oppose rampant inflation and the pricing of inflation, but it's still inflation and it's something that's there. So, I oppose inflation, but it's, you have to look at it from the standpoint of, well, if you want to continue to do certain things, you're going to pay these inflated prices. Just kind of how it goes. I know it sucks to say that out loud, but it's the truth. It is really.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, a West Virginia woman had been in a coma for more than 2 years after the brutal attack in her home. Now officials say that she woke up last week and was able to identify her own brother as the attacker. NBC News reports that police have already arrested the brother, who the sheriff described as being a little surprised but didn't put up much of a fight. So hold on. Were you supposed to put up for a fight if you were being arrested? What? I thought there was like a penalty for that if you put up a fight. Resisting arrest. So, I guess you just kind of go with the flow because it's innocent until proven guilty. How does that work if they hold you into a tank during those times? I see about wondering about that.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, 8 people are confirmed dead after a cargo plane crashed in Greece late Saturday evening. Observers say that they heard an explosion overhead and a fireball crashed to the ground, followed by a smaller explosion over the course of 2 hours. The plane was reportedly carrying motor ammunition from Serbia to Bangladesh. So there you go, some stuff there to think about. You heard this a little bit earlier, but let's talk about this. But Skittles could be killing you in a new lawsuit alleges. The class action complaint filed in California takes Skittles manufacturers Mars to task for including heightened levels of titanium dioxide in the recipe. The compound is specifically for those candies artificial coloring. For their part, Mars says the titanium dioxide quantities are in line with the FDA rules. So think about that real quick. Because, of course, they didn't address this in the other story, but I wanted to make sure that we went to it. They are talking about the approved levels that the FDA has with titanium dioxide quantities. You should see, and I'm not joking as I say this, some of the stuff that is allowed to be in food. You might be in shock if you take a look. I mean, if you're eating right now, this is probably about a terrible time to have this convo. But if you take a look at some of the stuff that is in your food, you might question a lot of things. Like, seriously, you might question a lot of things about what it is approved to be able to eat. So I don't know. You might want to think about that. Just throwing that out there. Anyways, I think it's time real quick to bring in some John Smalls. Let him tell you about what's going on inside of the world of the market.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, July 18th, 2022. It's a rally. The markets are all finished in the green to close the week. The only thing that changed last week is that there's an increasing number of experts who are beginning to believe that the Federal Reserve will not raise interest rates more than 75 basis points at their next meeting. And in a week that brought a lot of bad news last week regarding inflation, investors had to cheer the news that the long-term inflation outlook is at its lowest level in a year. However, we would caution investors on getting complacent. The market is going to continue to be volatile. This week, earnings season will begin in earnest. There are still expectations for a profits recession. Several companies have preemptively lowered their already lowered guidance. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one, letting us know exactly what is going on inside of the market. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Stocks had a strong end to the week on Friday as the Dow was picking up 658 points to close at 31,288. The S&P 500 added 72 points to close at 3,863, and the NASDAQ added 201 points to close at 11,452. West Texas Intermediate traded at $97.59 on Friday, while Brent crude was just over the $100 mark at $101.13. The national average cost of the gallon of gas was $4.53 as of Sunday, and Bitcoin lost more than $200 over the weekend, trading just at $21,000 on Sunday. Let's see, there was 3,048 flights delayed for routes within or into or out of the United States, and 301 cancellations did occur on Sunday. So there you go. A lot of stuff to talk about right there. So we didn't talk about it at the top, so let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about what occurred with the charts, the movies, the box office, and all that kind of fun stuff. So at the number 10 spot, according to the box office, at $1.3 million was Lightyear. And number 9 was Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris with $1.9 million. And number 8 was Jurassic World Domination with $4.9 million. And number 7 was The Black Phone with $5.3 million. At number 6 was Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hawk with $6.2 million. And number 5 was Elvis at $7.6 million. And number 4 was Top Gun Maverick with $12 million. And number 3 was Where the Crawdads Sing with $17 million. And number 2 was Minions, The Rise of Gru with $26 million. And at the number 1 spot for the second week in a row was, was Thor, Love and Thunder with $46 million. So there you go. A lot of stuff to talk about as we are talking. Anyways, as you did hear at the top, as we were talking, Bob East has died. The NASCAR driver was fatally stabbed at a gas station in California last week. His attacker has been identified as 27-year-old Trent William Millsap. He was killed during an officer-involved shooting after becoming confrontational with the arresting officer. East was 37 at the time of the passing. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about as we are talking here. Anyways, virtual town hall set on monkeypox as the city continues for vaccine rollout. A virtual town hall is being held today to discuss the monkeypox outbreaks in New York City. Health Commissioner Dr. Ashwin Vasad will be on hand to provide information on the disease and vaccination. Mayor Adams says that the vaccine rollout has been difficult at best, filled with error messaging and crashing websites as supply has outpaced demand.
We have some kinks on our websites. You know, computers are perfect, humans aren't. And I should have went with my gut and had our team do it.
More than 9,000 new monkeypox vaccine appointments were released last night after the city opened 3 mass vaccine sites over the weekend in Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. The health commissioner says the city is fighting 2 pandemics and coincides itself with a difficult way to contain the biggest monkeypox outbreak ever. So here's the thing. Did he just go as far as saying that computers are perfect and humans are fallible? I mean, yes, we do know that, but he should have had his team do it. So was his team made of computers? I mean, I don't know. Does that make any sense?
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, let's continue talking. Zelensky fires security chief. City hundreds of treason cases, citing hundreds of treason cases. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has fired the country's domestic security chief and the state prosecutor over hundreds of cases of alleged treason in collaboration with Russia. More by Mark Mayfield.
Zelensky said more than 60 officials from the Security Service and Prosecutor's Office were working against Ukraine in Russian-occupied territories. In his nightly speech to the nation on Sunday, Zelensky also said more than 650 treason and collaboration cases have been opened against law enforcement officials. Zelensky said his decision to fire the top security official when Russian forces first invaded in February has now been shown to be justified. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Okay, thank you, Mark, for letting us know that information. Let's continue talking. Kristen Smart murder trial starts today, more than 26 years after she disappeared from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. The Kristen Smart murder, which begins today. Trey Thomas has more information.
Paul Flores, the man accused of murdering Smart, and his father, Ruben Flores, who's accused of helping hide the body, will stand trial in Salinas, California. Paul Flores is accused of killing the 19-year-old college freshman while attempting to rape her in his dorm room at Cal Poly. He and his father were arrested last year after investigators uncovered new information in the case. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Trey, for that one, letting us know what is going on right there. Let's talk about this one real quick. Active Uvalde police chief suspended following a scratching report. Yes, the active police chief who was on duty during the deadly mass shooting at the Texas elementary school has been suspended. Trey Thomas has more information.
The mayor's office in Uvalde, Texas, released a statement Sunday saying that Lieutenant Mariano Pargas has been placed on leave while investigations continue. The announcement followed a scathing Texas House Committee report on law enforcement response to the shooting that killed 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School on May 24th. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, thanks for sharing the information of what the heck is going on over there. Because it is worth talking about. Anyways, the San Bernardino County Sheriff deputy shot twice. It is in stable condition after being shot at Rancho Cucamonga. Sheriff Shannon discusses and spoke with the deputy on Sunday.
I did have a chance to talk to the deputy and told him how proud I was of him and his response, and to think about being shot and still being able to put out information to your partners and ultimately take a dangerous suspect into custody.
The deputy was responding to a reported suspicious vehicle early Sunday morning, and he stopped the driver conducted a records check. But during the stop, the driver pulled a gun and fired at the deputy who was shot as the suspect ran away. Deputies found the suspect walking near, near the college and arrested him. The deputy was airlifted to a hospital. Police say that the suspect has an extensive criminal background and is on parole for carjacking. So just some stuff to talk about right there. And another thing real quick, armed citizen credited with stopping an active shooting in Indiana Mall. An armed citizen is being credited with stopping an active shooter inside an Indianapolis area mall. Maggie Vespa reports.
Investigators are searching for a motive behind a deadly shooting at a shopping mall just outside Indianapolis.
Several calls from Johnson County, possible active shooter.
Authorities say a man opened fire at the Greenwood Park Mall, killing at least 3 people and injuring 2 others.
The shooter was fatally shot by authorities that are describing as a 22-year-old Good Samaritan. Hold on. Police say that the shooter was an adult male that was armed with a rifle and plenty of ammunition. Officials are expected to release more information later today. For now, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department Assistant Chief Chris Bailey says that we are sickened by another type of incident like this in our country. The woman describes being inside of a store as the shooting was happening.
I'd say about 30 to 40 people back there with us, and they locked the doors.
So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world as we are talking in regards of this information. Just something to think about.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, currently 32 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Monday and having this great opportunity to hang out, talk, and take a look-see at the stuff that is going on inside of this world. So I will tell you, over the last few days, I've been getting a lot of interesting messages on LinkedIn, just talking about some stuff that is going on in regards of how people feel about being involved in safety, about the things that people are not told, and man, does that kind of enter into a lot of things that we could possibly talk about. So as I was reading some of these messages as they were coming about, I figured, why don't we have the conversation about the things that that we love and the things that we don't love and the things that that are important to us. And here's where I think that we tend to forget some important aspects, where we have to have some level of basis about how we look at safety. Because I know that there has been some people that have been involved with our lovely industry. And with our industry, it's kind of funny on how it works. There are people that are extremely knowledgeable, or there are some people that are in here that are starting off new. And hey, believe me, I understand that when you're going through the whole rotation, it takes some levels of getting into things. But there has been some confusion that the word safety is just all of a sudden when you go into a meeting and you start talking to people where you can just say, hey, yes, safety does this, safety does that. And really, I don't know if that's the basis of all of this. I don't really feel that that's the way that it goes. I really think that you have to have an understanding, a level of, okay, so based on the research that I have done, meaning whoever's saying this, either I'm a behavior-based safety person, I am a person that believes in human organizational performance, based on the research and the data that you have seen or obtained. It's not just the word safety and it changes everything. It's not like this is the end all. It's not like using those words that can, end any kind of conversation. That's not the point here. It's having some kind of basis and foundation about what is going on. Now, I will sit here for a moment and talk about this and say, listen, if you are going to start doing a foundational course on things that are related to safety and don't know how to look at it and how to move through the whole thing, I will tell you my favorite book is still this one. This one right here. If you are on the video, you are taking a look right here at Todd Conklin's Simple Revolutionary Acts, Ideas to Revolutionize Yourself and Your Workplace. I will tell you, this book right here will kind of put you into a whole method of changing the way that you think about stuff. And you will see, if you've never read it before, how there is some sprinkling of safety in there. Now, the book is a little bit older now. I think that it was written back in 2002, so you have to remember that it's about a 20-year-old book. But I think it's a very good standpoint on where you kind of come out and hang out with. And it gives you a lot of information on what to look at as you're able to move forward with a lot of this information. So think about that real quick. If you are newer into this industry and are still kind of trying to gather of what the heck you're trying to incorporate in regards on how your safety plan works, on how you're trying to involve all this stuff, that book right there, Simple Revolutionary Acts, is probably one of the better ones. Now, listen, easiest way to get a hold of it is I can give it to you in a free method, or you can go to Amazon and get it, whatever you want to do. The free method is pretty simple. All you have to do is go to safetyfmplus.com. We have a 3-day, I think it's a 3-day trial, but there's a free trial on there. Sign up. You can download the book directly from there once you actually get it. It's in a PDF format, just for FYI purposes, because Todd has been so kind to us in regards to allowing us to give that away, to give the book away. So just all you have to do is to sign up right there, download the book, boom, and it's yours. Or you can go to Amazon and purchase the book and go from there. I think that those are the simplest process. If you do read that book and go over it, it is a very simple read in regards of doing it, but also has some of the best information that I have seen in regards of changing the way that safety is actually handled. And if you take a look at it, it might just be a good book overall on how to be a good human. Seriously, there's so many different approaches that book can take. In regards if you apply the information. Because here's the thing, I can have tons and tons of books, but if I don't apply the information, it doesn't do a lot for me. Think about that as we are talking about it. But anyways, if you get a chance, take a read to the book, because I will tell you, it will assist you in crafting your idea of what safety should look like.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants. It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with Home Title Lock, you're inviting home title fraud, one of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she
is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what could be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
O coração não mente. O amor é uma teoria explicada por gente. Não parece nem um pouco com que a gente sente. Se foi uma ilusão, porque some o chão. Sonho que morreu. Se o que acabou nunca existiu, de onde veio a dor? Quando o sol se pôs, pensei em nós dois. Foi a alma que morreu. Tudo escureceu bem ao meio-dia. Foi no apogeu. Quem diria que seria o fim de você?
Okay, there you go. 43 minutes past top of the hour. This is Como Tofi. This is by Clara Mendes. Songs readily available on Spotify and iTunes. Meaning that you can take a download of this thing if you want. Thanks to Clara Mendes for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. So there you go. Let's get back into some information. and some other things that are going on inside of this world. This is some information coming in right now. Take a listen to this. The city of Boston wants people to start carrying their face masks once again and wearing it while inside of crowded places. James Rojas reports.
The Boston Public Health Commission is encouraging, not mandating, that you wear a mask while indoors and when you can't socially distance. This comes as the community positivity rate exceeds 10% and hospitalizations start to climb. But are folks willing to start covering up once again? Everyone I spoke to at South Station, at least, says yes.
I think that's good that they're doing that. This new 0.5 version seems to be sort of sidestepping some of our immunity.
It probably makes a good idea right now, indoors.
No, I would be down to wear a mask inside. I actually like wearing a mask, so I wouldn't mind doing it again.
Who cares, wear a mask, I don't, or don't. Doesn't make a difference to me, really.
James Rojas, Boston.
Okay, so there you go. Some information right there just coming off straight off the press. Anyway, so let's talk real quick. Let's talk about the most important thing that I will tell you at any point. And this is about me telling you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. But let's talk about some changes that just occurred here. The suicide line and crisis line have now changed. So different ways on actually doing this now. All you have to do is dial 988 and then hit send. That's the phone call. Or you can do a text directly to 988. So that's kind of what happens. So Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Also, the Lifeline options are available for veteran crisis as well while you're there. And so let's see. Some questions that you might ask right away. Should I call the Lifeline? Well, the answer to the question is yes. No matter what the problems you're dealing with, whether or not you're thinking about suicide, if you need someone to lean on for emotional support, call the Lifeline. People call the Lifeline to talk about lots of things: substance abuse, economic worries, relationships, sexual identity, getting over abuse, depression, mental and physical illness, and loneliness, just to name a few. So understand that this is available for you across the board here. So that is what the purpose of the line is for. But now it is new and updated with only having to dial 3 numbers. 988. That is text, talk, whatever format you want to do. You can still go to afsp.org if that makes it easier for you. Or you can also even go to 988lifeline.org. That's 988lifeline.org. Listen, we have to talk about these things because some changes are in place. This is to make it easier. And if you go to 988lifeline.org, you can chat directly inside of on the webpage and get that moving right there. So just for the purposes of talking about that, important information that we should talk about all the time. Anyways, this gets back into some new stuff because that's why you're here, to listen to what the heck is going on there. Anyways, temperance tantrum. Yes, I waited until Monday to tell you this so you could enjoy your weekend. Now embrace yourself. A new study says that just about 2 spoonfuls of alcohol is the maximum safe amount for people under the age of 40. The University of Washington School of Medicine analyzed the risk of alcohol consumption based on 22 health outcomes, including injuries, cardiovascular disease, and cancer, and found that the younger people face higher health risk from alcohol. About adults ages 40 and older without underlying health conditions may benefit from drinking a little more than 2 tablespoons, such as a small glass of red wine a day, and it could reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and diabetes. No health benefits were found from drinking alcohol among those aged 39 or younger. Here are some of the scientists recommend according to the results of the study. For young men, they recommend a daily amount of alcohol that's safe before risking health loss is 0.136 of a standard drink a day, about 2.6 tablespoons of beer, or 2 teaspoons of wine. For young women, a little over a quarter of a standard drink, or about 3.3 ounces of beer. For those aged 40 to 64, 2 to 7 ounces of wine, or 6 to 15 ounces of beer. The most alarming thing about this is that some people are going to want to be the drinking age to raise to 40. 2 spoonfuls That's okay. I can only afford about that much these days anyways.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so some good news real quick. A new type of supercharged tree could help fight climate change. Living Carbon, a San Francisco-based startup, says that it has created a genetically modified poplar tree, which grows up to 53% faster, enabling it to absorb about 27% of carbon dioxide, thus helping minimize the damage of climate change. Carbon dioxide has grown rapidly in the atmosphere since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, leading to extreme climate effects. The company plans to plant about 4 million trees by 2023. Living Carbon says that it doubles the existence of acreage of planted trees every year. By 2030, it will have 604 million metric tons of carbon, 1.66 of global emissions in a typical year. It's probably make a popular Christmas tree too. Just something to think about. Paula and Peter Closure became concerned when their 5-year-old beagle mix Bonnie disappeared from their home in Bali, UK. Little did they know that she was busy winning a ribbon at the local show after she escaped. Bonnie, who had been adopted as a stray 4 years ago, was found on the side of the road by John Wilmer, who happened to be driving his own 2 pups to a dog show. After posting her picture on Facebook, he decided to take her along to the contest. Bonnie was a hit with the judges and ended up winning a 3rd place in the rescue dog class. Of course, while Bonnie was winning the ribbons, her family was frantically looking for her, and Bonnie was returned to the Closures. Saw Wilberg's Facebook post. The kicker, Bonnie's stepped sibling doggo, Cleo, has won prizes a number of dog shows, but the Closure had never thought to enter Bonnie into one. So there you go. Some weird things happen inside of this world, and that's what happens. Anyways, let's talk about some Motivation Minute time. So let's go ahead and bring in some John Smalls and go from there.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Johnny. Les Brown said, "Life has no limitations except the ones you make." I love that. Think of the number of people who attempt something, and they give up after a short while. They say it cannot be done. Others will have the same struggles, but they work through the struggles to find happiness on the other side. It's an amazing feeling to do something that you have been told is not possible. I've done that a few times. Even thinking about it right now makes me smile. Make yourself happy and stick to that project until you get it done, and done right. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlysaMorgan.com. Sometimes it's good to know when it's time to adjust one's diet before experiencing obvious signs that something is off. So here's a brief list of subtle signs one may be developing insulin resistance. First, being thirsty all the time. This is because the kidneys are working extra hard to filter glucose. It may trigger more need for fluids. Second, being more hungry than usual, especially in between meals. Now, this may also occur simply because one isn't getting enough nutrients, but another potential reason is experiencing blood sugar highs and lows. Next, cravings for sweet things more and more. This happens because the tolerance for sweet things is reduced and more sweets are needed to satisfy the dopamine receptors. Last, high blood pressure. High glucose damages arterial walls and therefore increases blood pressure. For more, check out AlysaMorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, let's start talking about some other things going on inside of this lovely world of ours. So let's do happy-go-lucky first. Midlands man cashes in under 10 minutes after scratching a win. Talk about a gold rush. The Midlands man rushes to collect after scratching off his lottery win. More. Take a listen real quick on what's going on. The news story blanked out. It disappeared. So I started telling you about a news story that's no longer there. How exciting is that? Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear about the news story being gone. They want to hear what exactly is there. Anyways, it looks like somebody won on a scratch-off lottery ticket. And let's see. And I guess they cashed it in less than 10 minutes after they actually won. I guess good for them, if that's important to you. Anyways, let's talk about this. Jailed transgender woman impregnates two New Jersey inmates. A transgender woman jailed in Jersey has impregnated two other prisoners. Sarah Lee Kessler has more information.
Officials say it happened earlier this year at the Edna Mann Correctional Facility in Clinton, New Jersey's only prison for women. Demi Minor, who's 27, was moved months later to the Garden State Youth Correctional Facility in Burlington County. NJ.com says she's the only woman at the prison for young adults and is being held alone on suicide watch. New Jersey enacted a policy last year allowing inmates to be housed in accordance with their preferred gender identity. Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio, New Jersey.
Okay, thank you, Sarah Lee, for that information right there with what is going on inside of the world. It is currently 55 minutes past the top of the hour. No winner for Friday night's Mega Million drawing. Tuesday's drawing will be for $530 million jackpot or a $300.47 million cash payout. No winner for Saturday night's Powerball drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $89 million jackpot or a $51.7 million cash payout. So there you go. Some information there that is going on inside of the world as we are talking, moving, and grooving across the nation of the things that we talk about here. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Let's take a look around. Back in 2013, Detroit, Michigan files for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. The debt owed is $2.9 billion is the government bond debt, $5.9 billion in Detroit water and sewage department debt, $3.5 billion in unfunded pension liability, $5.7 billion on unfunded retiree health care liability. It is the largest municipal bankruptcy filing in U.S. history with over $18 billion owed. Detroit is also the largest city by population to file bankruptcy in the U.S. This happened back in 2013. Anyways, let's continue talking real quick about some birthdays that are going on. Canelo Alvarez and Mandy Rose both turned 32 today. Chance Crawford turns 37. Crystal Bell turns 42. Elsa Palatrick turns 46. Matthew Moore turns 47. Joe Russo, 51. Vin Diesel, yeah, that guy. He turns 55 today, just in case. Jim Bob Buggard turns 57. Wendy Williams turns 58. Diane Williams turns 64. And Richard Branson turns 72 today. So there you go. If you're looking for some birthdays, there you go. If you're looking for some days of the year to celebrate, I have some of those for you real quick as well. As long as I can get to them, I guess I can give them to you. If I can't get to them, then it might be virtually impossible to do so. It's National Sour Candy Day and National Caviar Day. Yes, National Caviar Day, just in case if you're looking for some of those. Anyways, if you need a random joke for today, I got one for you. I'm going to donate my body to science and keep my mom happy. She always wanted me to go to medical school. If you need a phone starter today, try this one. What is the dumbest thing your spouse has ever called to ask you at work? Are you busy? Know where the TV remote is? Okay, if I buy granola instead of cornflakes, do you love me? If you need something for the water cooler, try this one. Try this question. 15% of us say that we have taken a day off for this questionable reason. What is it? I stubbed my toe. So there you go. Anyways, so that's it. That sums it up. If you want to come over to RadioBig.fm and hang out, we'll be there for the next couple hours or so doing the things that we do on that side. All you have to do is, get over there and we'll do some things together. Anyways, if I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. Think about it. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM, and that is the listener. We could not do what we do here on Radio Big or Safety FM without you, the most important part. Keep that in mind. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Com que a gente sente se foi uma ilusão? Porque some o chão. Foi sonho que morreu. Se o que